Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hell's Newsletter. We are back after a 3-month hiatus since March 30th?
Yeah, something
March
like that.
15th, I think.
No,
30th?
February.
No, we did one in March.
Really?
I swear to God, we did one in March.
Maybe then it was the first episode of March.
I think it was, March 15th was our hiatus date, and now we're back for June 15th.
That makes sense.
Either way, welcome back. It's currently episode 32. Can you believe that this podcast has been going for 32 episodes?
A little bit, because I've kind of gotten into it's almost become a routine now.
It has,
like,
but
fuck, when's that? When do we have a recording this week?
Yeah, it has been that,
But
but I feel
lately.
like it's also just so far from when we started this during the initial pandemic in 2020.
Yeah.
Like, we did
true.
4 episodes over the span of 2 years, and then last year just said, fuck it, and did, like, 23 episodes in a single year.
Yep.
That was some top-tier shit. Yeah, we've been doing
For
really
sure.
good. But yes, so for those who didn't know or don't follow our social medias, I posted back in March saying we were going on a small hiatus for personal reasons. That is now over, and we are back. So the rest of this year, the last 6 months, y'all are going to be seeing us again twice a month with some better content. We're going to be getting some more guests on, hopefully, and just all around going about some more stuff.
Hell yeah. We wanted to make sure when we came back from this hiatus, we wanted to make sure we were a little bigger and better, right? So
yeah.
We're going to do a couple things here and there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We definitely want to get some more guest songs. We know we were slacking in that on the later half of the last year and the beginning of this year. But yeah, it'd definitely be nice to have some more people on, get some more content creators. And as I've said before, all of our guest applications and suggestions to improve the podcast are always in the description on our social medias. If you want to see other creators, let us know. I will do my best to reach out to them. But yeah,
hell yeah.
That being said, today's episode is about creator mental health, which is kind of a stack on from the last episode, which was creator safety.
Well, you know what? Before we get into it, how have you been lately? This has been one.
I've been interesting. It's been an interesting end of my school year, I will say. Those who haven't known this, I've been on my school's newsroom for the last 2 semesters, and we actually just did a magazine print. But here's where it gets interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So mostly I've been doing news and opinion articles in our newspaper, but for the magazine print, I got to do something extra special. I got to write an article on the Thirst Project and Legacy Youth Leadership, which are 2 charities I work closely with.
Yeah, you told me about this.
Yeah, but guess what? The magazine print, it comes out tomorrow morning.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Luke, by the way. He works at the Thirst Project. He's a great guy. I absolutely love him. He got me almost all the information I needed for the article, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to see him next month.
Yeah, I was about to say you're going to help out, right?
Yeah, the Thirst Gala. I'm going to volunteer again. I got an Airbnb already, so I'm just gonna drive down Thursday, help out Friday, Saturday, and then I'm driving back Sunday morning.
There you go.
Yep, it's gonna be fun. Yes. How about you? How you been doing?
Well, I dropped out of college.
Listen, that makes 2. To be fair, that makes 2 of us.
I withdrew from college for a bit. I've been working. Job has been doing renovations. My car. I don't know. Last 3 months have just been bills, and did I mention more bills?
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Because I've gotten into 2 car accidents. Both of them weren't my fault, but one of them was blamed on me by the insurance.
Of course, gotta love insurance.
Of course. So I can't wait for the next, probably August when I have to buy insurance again.
Yeah.
Can't wait for my deductible to go up. Can't wait.
Yep.
Now that car has laid its final resting place. It's sitting outside.
That's how it goes.
I have to get a new one now.
That's how it goes.
But something actually exciting. I'm taking my first vacation that was enabled by me, right? So this is the first time I've gone somewhere that like I paid for the trip, I planned it out,
Like you're
everything,
the one who
right?
set everything up.
Exactly. It's not like a family trip or anything. No, I'm going with one of my friends. We're going up to Boston in July to
Hell yeah.
there's the RLCS Spring Major is there, which if you don't know, it's Rocket League esports.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I will say, for one, I didn't
Hopefully,
know that because I suck at Rocket League. You can attest to that.
hopefully our the team that I like. I'm a Team Falcons fan. Hopefully they make it. Hopefully the qualifications are about right now. So
Oh, so
we shall
they're up
see.
against it.
Yeah, so basically it kind of works as there's a couple events, right? And you earn a certain amount of points for winning the it's called either an open or closed split, right? And for our region, which would be the Middle East or in North Africa, there's only one spot.
Gotcha.
One spot. So um, we would have to rule one. Another team in our division already won the first open, so we would have to win the next two.
Oh, okay. So they'd need to just fight straight through it then.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, hey, hopefully they get there.
Hopefully. And that's about it.
That's fair. But yeah, I mean, that's a little update on us. I will say, slight little promo thing. If you guys are interested in streams and you enjoy charity streams, I have a couple big ones coming up this summer. That'll be pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I will be there moderating
Yes. Yeah.
sometimes.
He'll also probably be playing with me at a couple points as well. Um, but yeah, June's going to feature some stuff for the Trevor Project and LGBTQ related charities, and then July is all about Thirst Project. So
Yeah, yeah.
we shall see how it goes. But yeah, you want to get into it?
Yeah. But
All
pause
right,
real quick.
and we're back. Sorry, I'm gonna apologize because we've just brought this up to me. You are gonna hear a bit of background noise from my end this time. Uh, it's not something I can really control at the moment, but yeah, we
It's
will
fine.
we'll get past it. But yeah, let's get into it. So, creator mental health. Now, I know there's gonna be a few people at least probably wondering, why are you calling it creator mental health as opposed to just mental health? And this is objectively, this is my opinion here, but creator mental health is definitely a lot more unstable than the average person's. And
Yeah, I
I'd
agree
like to
with that.
state what, yeah, I'd like to state why I believe that. The reason I believe that is because any normal person, like just at your average person who doesn't do content creation, doesn't do any of that, they are rarely, and I mean rarely, if ever, in a public eye. Like, you're
Yeah.
not being watched by a couple hundred people, or in case of bigger streamers, a couple thousand at a time. Um, and at that point, when you're a larger creator, like the larger you get, the more people are seeing you and knowing who you are. But at that point, one thing that comes to it is it's just the weight of all of these people because they're watching your every move at this point. There are some people who are obsessed enough and they're like, they're watching your every move. And there's also the people that are like, they see you fuck up, they will witch hunt you across the internet.
Yeah,
So
it's for sure. It's definitely I think it's gotten better over the years, but back in the ye old Twitch days, it used to be a very dog eat dog world.
I mean, I'd argue that it's gotten better and worse in some
I
aspects.
was about to say that. I was about to say that's true because
There's
I
some
just feel
things
like
that's gotten
now.
worse, but there's some
I
that's
just feel
better.
like now. Yeah, I feel like the creator place is kind of oversaturated a little bit.
It is. And I mean,
Now.
I like it's things to be said is like, first of all, I want to say that I don't condone bullying of creators or anything of that sort. All right? Like it's not okay. If they're a bad person, harass them off the internet all you want. I don't care. Um but like, if it's just a normal creator who made an honest mistake, I don't support witch hunting them. Um
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I mean, God knows that, like, if it hell, if the days of witch hunting still existed on like in the creator space, God knows I would have been by now. Because one thing that
Oh yeah.
comes, huh?
I said, oh yeah.
No, yeah, because God knows, like, I have one distinct memory that comes to mind that could have gotten me in a lot of trouble if there were still, like, big days of witch hunting. And it was because I
Hmm.
was streaming with another creator friend of mine a while back. I think you were there as well, actually. We were all playing
Hmm.
GTA together, and I had a follow username. I had a troll, and it happened to be the N word.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember
Except it got worse. It got worse because there was a lot of talking over each other. So the person one of the people I was fighting in the game, we were playing GTA. We were in a death match. I ended up killing them. And then I leaned over, looked at the thing, didn't think about the username, and I said, "Thank you for the follow." And I read out the username.
Yeah.
But it gets worse. That other creator friend of mine thought I killed them, and then just dropped a slur
You
after
dropped
killing
a
them.
slur.
Straight up,
Oh.
straight up. Immediately
Oh.
after, immediately after, he starts saying, hold on, you can't say that, you can't say that. Wait a minute." And I'm thinking, oh shit.
Yeah.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
if the days of witch hunting creators still existed for mistakes like that, I would have been executed on the spot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, I will admit, I should have read the name out. I do read names more cautiously now, but like, just the immediate knowledge of like saying that, realizing it, I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've said some questionable things on stream as well.
Oh, same.
Um, like, uh, I have dropped the we'll say the N bomb before
Yes.
on stream, but not in the not in a bad way. I was singing a song, right?
Yes. I
And
will
I just
say,
kind of forgot I was streaming,
I will
and
say
I'm like,
though,
oh, sorry.
no, it's fair. I will say though, it is definitely more acceptable for you to say that than it is for me.
It is true. It is
Like,
true.
it's still not something that like we both, neither of us want to like drop like like heavy words on streams and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely understand that.
Yeah. And then there was that one time where I was stretching, and I said, "I'm gonna crack my black instead of my back."
Oh my god!
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that would have gotten it. That would have gotten it right there.
Yep. That's oof 2020 right there. There's a clip of that somewhere.
Oh boy. Yeah. Oh god. The amount of clips that I've found that I've like had to delete myself because I was like, oh, this cannot be on my channel is concerning. Like,
Yeah.
I'll admit, I know
Yeah.
it's not my regulars doing it. And I mean, if it is, half time I'll just be like, yo, what the fuck? But it's concerning when I see somebody clip something that shouldn't be clipped.
Yeah, for sure.
But
And I
yeah.
was about to say that's another thing is like that kind of leads into creators' mental health is like your privacy, right? When it
Oh,
comes to
absolutely.
like your home and stuff like that.
Like, I'll say
Because
this right now. I have known a few femme presenting creators in my time. And
mm,
this is just something that I've noticed. They haven't even like had to tell me this, but something that takes a toll. Like, if you don't present as like, anything other, like if you don't present as a dude, more than likely you were going to be more than likely you were going to be targeted for harassment. Like, I in my
mhm,
opinion, there's three levels of harassment that creators deal with, all right? The people who get it the worst are any creator who is anything other than a dude, pretty much. Because I mean,
right.
hell, all you have to do is open up Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, and you'll see thousands of like posts from idiot streamers that are saying, "Oh, women get more followers because they have tits," and it's like, no, you're just less entertaining than a pair of tits. Um,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's true. But like, the second level, the second worst level of harassment is if you're a dude who is a race other than white. You will also deal with like harassment and shit like that. And
Yeah.
then the last level is like, if you're a white dude, more than likely you're going to see very little harassment. And I mean, you can disagree with me all you want, but as a straight white guy, you're going to see almost zero harassment from the internet.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to be coming into your streams, going onto your videos or doing anything and just going on there and being like, oh, we're harassing you because you're a straight white. Like, no, nobody gives a shit. Like,
Yeah. See, the thing is that I think people don't even think about is like, even profile pictures can get you discriminated. Like me.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you know how? Remember how before on Ubisoft, my my profile picture was me staring into my camera, right?
Yeah.
I physically had to change it. I had to.
Yeah.
You want
I
to know why?
guarantee people kept like throwing emotes
Because
at you.
yes, and I
Yep.
mean, and we're not even talking like, oh, they hear me speak and then look at my profile picture. No, no, no. We're talking still in the loading screen.
They see it
They
and they're
see
just
my
like, hey,
profile
and they
picture
say
and
it.
drop a hard R. And sure, one or two lobbies a day, I don't really give a damn, right? I've heard it plenty all my life,
But when it's
right?
every
It's
lobby,
whatever. When it was every lobby, every time I got on the game,
I would
like
lose it.
that's just ridiculous.
I would lose it. I'm saying this right now. I would absolutely lose it at some point.
It got so ridiculous because it's just like
You good?
my headset just died.
And we're back. What is up? Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. Wolf's headset died, so he's back with us in desktop mode.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, as we were saying, we were talking about having a
Yeah, the
profile photo
lobbies.
of yourself in a lobby. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, but I just it was getting to the point uh where I just got really really tired of dealing with it every day, right?
I mean, I would too, to be
And
honest.
right. Like I listen, I don't get it a lot in real life, right? But like I deal with it enough that I don't need any more. Like
I mean,
these stupid fucking either kids or 40-year-old men that have nothing to do with their lives.
yeah. I mean, even if it never happens to you in real life, it's still like fucking annoying as shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like this one thing that has always like come through my mind, and I mean, I know it's thrown around on social media as like, oh, this was a funny clip, but it also takes to mind. There's another podcast clip that I've seen out there, and I forget who it was, but they had this guy on, and he was basically like saying how, oh, I've never actually been like called the N-word straight to my face by like another race. Like that's never happened. And
Mhm.
another guy next to him like made the joke, was like, you ready? Uh
You
and
ready?
it was okay. Like, I'll
Oh,
admit, it was a funny
God.
clip. It was a funny clip, I'll admit. But it takes into mind is like, even if it never happens to you, it's still kind of like you don't want it to happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like like, I know they were all joking on that podcast and they were all like friends, but like it's still like even if it has never happened to you as a minority, it's still something that you don't want to, you don't want it to happen. You don't want to know what
Mhm.
it's like.
And it's something that you still have to keep in the back of your mind
You have to be ready for
when
it.
you're walking in the public place. You have to.
Yeah,
Because if you're not, it's gonna unfortunately slap you in the face, and reality checks are a bitch. Let me tell you.
Oh no, absolutely. Like, I mean, I'll like like that stretches to everybody who's not like a cis white dude. And I mean, it's like, if you're part of a minority race, you're gonna get like, racial things thrown at you. If you're part of a different gender that's a guy, you're gonna get like, sexual harassment thrown at you. And it's like, it's something that like more people need to bear in mind, is like, if normal people have to prepare for stuff like this, can you imagine what a creator has to do to prepare for this? Because they are
Mhm.
always, always in the spotlight. Like, it's not like they're just, oh, they had a stream and, now they're in the popular tab. Like, uh, who are some creators that blew up that are a good example of this? Like,
Kai.
Who?
Kai, uh, 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 biggest streamer on Twitch right now. He's got most subs. He's a black dude.
I
He's,
don't know him, but
yeah, yeah, most
yeah,
subbed on you. Funny story. Funny story? Most subbed on YouTube, and that is what took you Twitch to actually acknowledge him. And
that's
like
fucked.
any other achievement he did before that, nothing. Radio silence. They just did not give a damn.
Yeah, that's fucked. But I
But
mean, yeah,
of course, when he hits #1 on Twitch and subs, oh yeah, yeah, of course they're gonna acknowledge him.
oh yeah. But I mean, like when it comes to it, it's like it's a whole mess of like stuff that like all of these like normal people have to prepare for. Thinking about what a creator has to do is just insane. Like, and this ranges from like, as I said, minorities, people who identify as different genders, like that are other than men, and it's like it goes on. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
I know that I personally will never understand like the amount of shit that like a black creator will have to prepare for when they're launching up a stream. Like they know probably have to like get their mods in there and look out for slurs and so forth. Like any femme presenting content creator or someone who isn't a man, like they have to prepare like make sure their mods are like ready to like stop sexual harassment in the chat and so forth. And it's like it's just insane to me. And it doesn't even stop
And
there too, which is like the other side of it. Like
uh,
those same internet chat trolls, not all of them are, but there are going to be some of them with the stupidity to try that in real life too.
that's true.
Like
And-
it's insane to me. Like I'm gonna call back to the Amaranth situation from months ago. Um,
Mhm.
and this isn't like regarding her shitty partner, but like this is regarding what happened at TwitchCon. Um,
Right.
I was there last year. I wasn't aware that she was there. I don't follow many large creators, if any. But I found out months later that like, during that convention, police had to be called to like her hotel room door because of some shit that had happened. And I was like,
Mhm.
that's fucked.
Yep.
Like it's just kind of the knowledge that like, once you become a larger creator, once your name and like your face and image are out in the spotlight there, you are never really truly safe at that point. And that goes
Yeah,
not
sure.
just for minority creators, it goes for all creators. Like every mistake that you make is going to have thousands of eyes on it. Every part of you is going to be torn apart by trolls. Like they're always going to be
Mhm.
trying something.
And here's the thing. Another thing is like even cis white males, right?
No,
If you
yeah,
have a southern accent, most of the time, unfortunately, people are going to based on
stereotypes. They're
what
going
has
to assume
happened,
you're a racist.
based on stereotypes, they're going to think you're a racist.
Like they're going to hear the
And I
southern
think
accent and be
that
like, "Oh, look, this is a guy who hates whatever race."
exactly, and I think that's just terrible because I know plenty of people who speak in that the southern drawl as here in America we call it. Uh, but I know plenty of people.
Yeah, and I mean
Nothing wrong. Perfectly good human beings.
yeah, and I mean like that's another thing too is like half the time if something you like someone has a different opinion on as a creator, it doesn't matter what like race, gender, whatever you are, like there's a high chance you'll be harassed over that too.
Yep.
Like it also brings in the matter of like the things you support as well.
Hmm.
Um and it's like for example, uh with Roe v. Wade, after that all had happened, I did a couple fundraiser streams for the National Abortion Fund, the NA something, I don't remember the acronym. Um but it was, yeah, it's something. But I did a couple charity streams for them. And I like every single time I was in that charity stream, every time I saw a new name in there, I just kind of had to mentally prepare myself. I was like, okay, this is either somebody who's just coming in to say hi because they found the stream somehow, or this is about to be one of the most annoying chat scenarios of my life.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
like it's a mess. And I mean, the thing is when it comes to creator harassment too, like people need to understand that not only the creator is taking the abuse, because half
Yeah,
the
it's
time it's
also
the
the
moderators as
community.
well. It's the community and the
Yeah.
moderators as well. Because while the community witnesses it sometimes, I will say the creator and the moderators get the worst of it. Because say
Yeah.
for example, I've seen countless scenarios like creators posting like, hey, a mod banned this person and then this person made alt accounts and started harassing my moderator team. And I'm like, that's not okay.
Mm. Yeah. No,
It's just
not at all.
it's a mess. Like people go in and they leave it as free reign because I mean people half the time don't view creators as people. And I mean to add
Which
into
is
that,
crazy.
it is crazy, but I mean to add into it too, there was like another thing I witnessed recently in a social media comment. I was on a section, I don't remember what the video or the post was, I have no idea.
Hmm.
It was something about how it is difficult to be a creator sometimes, and somebody had commented there and said, "What do you mean?" Like the creator had posted basically saying how difficult it was sometimes to be a creator, and some idiot commented and said like, "Oh come on, it can't, like it's not hard at all. Stop being a little bitch. All you have to do is like play a game and like stream." And it's like it's not like I'm gonna tell you
Markiplier.
firsthand. Oh, I mean, I'm gonna tell
Markiplier-
like everybody firsthand right now. It's not as simple as just opening a game and hitting go live. Sure,
It's
as a
not.
smaller creator, yeah, that it can be as simple as that. Like if you just want to stream as a hobby, it can be as simple as that. But if it's your job, like here's something to consider. With your job, if you work retail, if you work in an office, if you do anything, you have a set date and time that you have to be there. And you have no worry about whether your job is going to pay you or not that month. When it comes
Yeah.
to being
You
a
work the
creator,
hours. You work the hours. You get the money. When
exactly,
it comes to
there's no
being a
guaranteed
creator,
pay for a creator. How it runs is
sure.
like your revenue depends entirely on your community, ads, and sponsorships. That is it.
Hmm.
If you can't get sponsorships, you're not getting paid from sponsorships and you're just getting ad stuff. If the community like isn't able to financially support you, which is not a bad thing by the way, like it happens. Everybody has like their monetary issues and that's okay.
Hmm.
But if the community is unable to like, donate or do anything like that, you're not getting paid there, which means your only revenue is ads. And that is not a lot of money. Like you don't get paid much from that. So at that
Yeah,
rate, you are literally just fucked. Like
for
you can
sure.
say all you want that being a creator is easy, but I mean, I guarantee you, the lot of you that say that would not last 5 seconds in like even a moderately small creator's shoes.
When Markiplier hit like 5 million subs or something like that, right? There was it's his first famous crying video, right? Where he's crying at a tribute video, right?
Yeah,
It's that one famous thing. But he said something in that video that kind of really changed the way I looked at content creators, right? Because we put all these big content creators such as him, Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, and on Twitch, Penguin Zero to put an example. We put all these people on a pedestal, right? As if like they're these immortal beings, right, that have just come to entertain us.
yeah,
But in reality, it's just not true. They're just normal people, just as us.
yeah. No, that's
And
just one
what
thing that I
Mark,
will always stand for, and it's the fact that celebrities, content creators, anything, they are no more than you are. They're the
yeah,
same person walking down a street to go grocery shopping. They're the same person driving out to go on a simple vacation or something like that. They are the exact same as you and I, just walking
yeah,
down and going about their life. The only difference is the fact is that more people know them. And I
yeah, they
mean,
have
you're
eyes
not
on
going
them.
to call
That's it.
somebody, yeah, you're not going to call somebody who has 100 friends versus 5 friends. You're not going to call that person who has 100 friends a celebrity.
Exactly.
Like they're no different. They just know more people.
Mhm. And the point he made in that video is like the reason why he feels so sad about the tribute video, right? Was no matter how many conventions, no matter how many meetups you do, you will not be able to know your entire audience.
You can't.
You
No,
won't.
it's
It's
impossible.
physically impossible. Even if you are a small creator, such as like myself, right? Who's at I think 280, somewhere around there, right? 280 followers.
Yeah,
Think about putting basically 300 people in a room, and then
exactly. It's impossible.
just trying to interact with every single one of them. Like it just doesn't work.
It doesn't. Like, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm approaching 1,000 at the moment on Twitch, and it's like just even thinking about like meeting each one of those almost 1,000 people is like insane. Because here's the thing: if they all lived in the same city, sure, that's not a difficult task. But that's the thing. It's content creation. That creation goes onto the internet, where billions, billions of people have access to it. There
Forever.
is no surefire way to ever get all of those people into a room. And I can tell you why. It's because A, half the time most people can't even will travel across a continent in their life.
Well,
Like,
I was about to say. Well, that's the thing. Most of the time that these big creators have all these audiences, right? Take like the TikTok convention for an example, right?
yeah,
Their audience is so spread out that like when they host a meetup, they were super surprised that no one was there. I'm like, dude, if half your audience is in,
if your half
if
your
half your
audience is
audience
from
is the
Australia, it's
UK,
like,
yeah, and you're hosting an event in America, of course no one's gonna show up.
yeah, like
Kidding me?
if majority of your audience is somewhere there, it's just like people are not going to be there. Like, I mean, unless
Plus,
you have a follower account in like the very high hundreds of thousands or over a million, it's more than likely that it's not going to work.
and plus,
And
even if you do have a high follower count, it's still not a guarantee. Like
yeah,
Ethan, Crank Gameplays, right? He wanted to make a tour through Europe. He had to cancel it. Why? And he was straight up honest with his audience. There wasn't enough tickets, not enough
literally,
sales, not enough sales.
it's how
It,
that
it couldn't fund
goes.
the trip, couldn't go. And it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is, but it's also like, yeah, people just don't understand that is it. Like,
Yeah, they don't understand how spread out the internet is,
yeah, and
because
I
it
mean,
is literally the world wide web.
well, another thing
Can
about it is
connect
they also don't
anyone.
understand that like creators really aren't making that much compared to other people. Like, there are thousands of
Mhm.
careers out there that pay more than a creator. But do you know why they do it? It's because they either A, love what they do, or sometimes they get trapped into it. Like,
Mhm.
it's not a thing you can switch out of so easily. Sometimes when you become a creator, it's just that is it. Like, you have that. Like, for me, for example, I'm doing it because I want to, because I love doing it, and it's one of my favorite things. But there are content creators who thought it would be fun like in the early days and they got trapped into it. Now they're just stuck because if they try and leave, if they try and deviate to do stuff that they want to do, they know either their viewership's going to suffer or their channel may just fall entirely. And if
And
that
here's
happens, they don't have a job anymore all of a sudden.
and to add on to that note, think about the people like Markiplier who took the risk of this man dropped out of engineering school. You kidding?
Absolutely.
Engineering college. Sacrificed an entire career to do this YouTube, and it just so happened to work out. That does not happen.
It yeah,
It doesn't.
like it
It's
you
very
need to
rare.
you need to also be aware of like the people that like people are always like, oh, they just got lucky and blew up. And I'm just like, yeah, sometimes
No.
they do, but also more than likely, most of the big creators today did not get lucky and blow up. They put in the fucking work and it paid off.
So much hard work. Like I remember watching PewDiePie back in the day, right?
Yeah, like
I
it's a
came
lot of
around.
work.
Yeah, I came around at around the first the first memory I have, right? Like of the first video I've seen from him
Yeah,
that appeared on my feed was the 100K special, right?
yeah,
So and it was uploaded within 2 weeks of that. So that's when I was subbed in.
yeah. And I
Um,
mean, I'll even
and
say
like
this.
even back then, this man was posting nearly daily on basically a microwave laptop sitting in the corner of a tiny ass apartment, just barely getting by.
It's how it goes. Like half these creators when they started out, like they were borderline working themselves to death. And I mean, it's it's how it has to be sometimes. Like, I'm even out here right now. Like I have, I think, 4 to 5 projects going on at any given moment, and I'm working on all of them half the time. Like it's to a point like, and I know I try never to like state this out loud, but it needs to be said more often that like half the time people are always complaining and being like, "Oh, being a creator is so easy." You know, they probably just make a fucking video, send it off to their editors, and it's like, and then they move on. It's like, no, they're constantly brainstorming new ideas, planning like things out. It's what they have
Yeah,
to do. Like, I'll tell you this
that's
right now. I have a script. I have a script writing area that I like do stuff in. I'll tell you this right now. There are 7 projects in there right now, and I'm
hmm
working on all of them. You know what I'm also doing? Writing a book series. I'm also working on short films that I need to go out and film, and it's like I am a one man crew doing all of this because
yeah.
nobody in my area, none of my community lives in my area. I don't know any
hmm
of my community IRL. So I am solo, and if I want to work with people who are like trying who like if I want to work with people in my community who are trying to support me, I have to go to them.
hmm
So it's like, for example, I have a couple community members who are like, yeah, if you want help with the short film, like I can work with that. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to need to go to your state in that case for that though. Or I'm
hmm
gonna at least need to get nearby where you can like drive less than an hour to meet me.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's a mess because it's like people just don't realize the amount of work that you have to physically throw into being a creator. Like it's a
That's
daunting
why I
task.
always. That's why even like when I was a kid and I would hear like s- watching, sitting there at the table watching YouTube videos, right, while I'm eating or something like that, and I would hear behind me from like uh, uh either like my dad or just whoever's passing by. Oh, he just sits there and plays games and
Oh,
makes money. It's like I never really understood that perspective, but I also never really understood how to explain it, right?
no, I mean
Of
it's the
how
same
much
here.
work it goes into it.
It's the same here.
Which at the
Like
time,
the
which
thing
at the
about
time I really didn't fully comprehend how much work it was until I got into content creation myself. And, oh my god!
I'm no, I'm right there with you. Like I used to hear that. Like for those who don't know, I started doing content creation when I was 12. I've been doing it for almost a decade of my life. Um, it's been under various channels, and I mean, as always, when someone first starts out, especially if they're a young kid, it's not going to be perfect. But it's like I have been
hmm
doing it for this long, and it's like the one thing that I never could explain to like relatives who would make comments or like other like ex friends of mine who would also make comments. They'd just be like, "Oh, it's not that hard. You just have to like do this." And I'm like, "No, you have to put in work." Like I've had friends before who I do not talk to anymore, and they would always be like, "Oh, well, you know what? You're never available to do this stuff." And I'm just like, "I'm aware that I'm not available. I am building a career from scratch. Like it's not
Yeah,
like for
from
example,
literally
if they
nothing.
were in college, like I knew them before college, but it's like, like I've had like I bet if they were in college now, like the thing is they have a career path. They have building blocks because they have people showing them what to do.
And
There is no like building blocks for a creator. Like you need to be
I
good at
was about
marketing yourself. You need to be good at like, being able to show what you do in short passions, and you need to teach yourself all these skills that places aren't
I,
going to teach you to be a content creator.
I was just about to say that there are so many things that you have to that I've had to self teach myself just by the experiencing, right? Which is like a lot of things in life. But when it comes to like content creation, stuff like um, editing workload.
Exactly. Like, and
Um,
I'm gonna add a little thing about that real quick.
yeah,
I
yeah.
know that some people are gonna say like, "Oh, well, they can teach you like video editing in college." Yes, but here's the
Yeah, you
thing.
sit at a fucking computer for 2.5 hours trying to subtitle a video, all
No,
right?
but it's not just that. It's also the fact it's like, I know that people are gonna say like, "Oh, marketing, marketing editing." Like they teach that in college. Yes, but no creator is gonna go to college to get a degree, and I'll tell you why. You do not need a degree to be a creator.
To be a content
Like,
creator, you do
here's the thing.
not. Absolutely not.
This is something that I will forever hold the belief on. I do not believe degrees are useless. Let me just preface by saying that. But I will tell you
100%.
what I believe about degrees. They are literally, and I mean literally, only designed to make you look good on a job resume.
They're pieces of
You
paper.
They're pieces of
They're
paper.
golden
You
pieces
could
of paper.
teach yourself every skill that college teaches you by yourself, and I
YouTube.
guarantee you that someone with a degree would get hired over you.
Yep.
It's just
And
how
here's
the
the thing.
world works. But like,
And here's the thing about content creators, right? There is no matter even if we wanted to, even if we wanted to get a degree in content creation, you telling me there's a degree in Twitch right now?
there's not.
No.
Like, I'll tell you this right
No.
now. It's just
Not
not
until
how it works.
recently. Not until recently has that ever existed. Sure, now there are jobs like social media managers and stuff like that, so you can take a marketing degree, and that looks good on that. But that didn't exist back then.
I mean, even now,
Like,
it's like it's a moot point. Like, to get something like a social, like to get a job like a social media manager, even then, you're really not a content creator at that point. You're working for one, yes, but like, it's just like it's a whole
I
thing of
don't
it.
know though. I don't know because it really depends on what kind of content manager you are. Because certain ones,
Hang on one sec.
like I'll say,
Oh,
go
hang
ahead.
on. Sorry about that. We're back. Had a minor interruption. But
You're talking about
basically to
colleges.
just go back on it, like, again, there
Yeah,
is no degree to be a content creator. Like, you can get degrees in social media management, like, or like marketing for social media management and stuff. But half the
yeah,
time
but
you'd
there's
be
no
working for a
degree.
large company or working for a content creator. Like,
Yeah,
there are different levels of
there's
it.
there's no degree, right? That literally says Twitch streamer that you can take to Twitch, right? And
And
hand it to them and
basically,
be like, hey, give me a 9 to 5 consistent job that would give me money. It doesn't exist
it's because
anywhere.
it's also not possible. Like, another thing, these sites are
Yeah,
not just going to pay you to stream or like pay you to make videos.
exactly.
And I'll tell you exactly why they don't do that. The reason is because they do not make money off of just you streaming or just you posting videos. They make money when you
Nope.
have large viewership. They make money when people are actively like donating and stuff like that. They make money because on Twitch if you subscribe or YouTube if you do like the join the community thing, they make money off of that. They make money because you are drawing people to their site.
They make money off of interaction, and
Yes.
it is your job to bring that interaction. And if you don't, they will just turn your back on you. They
Yeah,
don't care
they just don't
at
care.
all.
Because I mean, like
They just
again,
don't care. They got other people. They've literally had, unfortunately, like streamers like me and Lucy. There's about 100,000 of
yeah,
them.
not even
So
100,000. There's more like a million. Like
yeah, I was about to say there's a million of us.
there's a
So
million like
right now,
small
trying
streamers out
all of
there.
us. Yep, all of us trying to do the exact same thing, right?
It's
The
that, but it's also
difference.
like it's the battle for viewership too. Like
Mhm.
it's a dog eat dog world with content creation. Because here's the thing: when you were doing it, you were not only trying to build a community, you are battling thousands of other people in your exact same square, and basically trying to tell the world why are you different?
And
Why
sure,
should they give you their attention?
yeah, exactly. And sure, you can have friends that make content creation as well, and that could help grow your community.
It can.
But
Like if you have a friend
do
who's like
note,
larger,
trust me, that only gets you so far. It
it does.
really does. Take
Like
this as from experience, from the beginning of my stream. Believe it or not, Lucy, I thoroughly believe the only reason that I got to affiliate so quick was because of your community, right?
I mean, I will say
And
this,
because of the
like
friends that we had at the time.
yeah, I will say this. I do not want to sound like an egotistical person here, but like there are definitely quite a few friends that I helped get to affiliate in a really fast manner. And it's like I
100%.
fully believe that
Like,
each one of those people, like including you, can get to an amazing place in the content world. But it's the fact of
and
the matter
here's the
is
issue.
like you can't like people can't be carried all the way there because there are thousands of larger
Yeah,
creators out there right now who have been carried there. And after they
I
got
was about,
carried and that person who carried them faded out of relevance, they dropped.
yep, I was
Like
just about to say, I gained out of the 280 followers I have, I gained 240 of them within the first year of my channel. I have
exactly.
been streaming now for 4.5 years.
Yeah. No, I've been streaming for 5 as of April
Five
this
and a
year.
half, 5 years actually. Yeah, you're right. It's coming up
Yeah, I've been
very
streaming
soon.
for 5 years and about a month. As I started April 2018. And I'll tell you this right
Yeah.
now, like in the very first little bit, my channel blew up, but it has been a slow climb since. I think I was sitting at 800 back in 2020. So in
Mm-hmm.
like 2 years, I hit 800, but I have maybe expanded about 120 since.
And you know what happened, Lucy? You want to know why I stopped getting? Why I stopped? You know,
Hmm.
my ratings, fucking, I guess analytics stopped going up.
Why?
It's because I stopped being so consistent. I
No,
used to,
that's
you
how it goes.
remember, I
Like,
used to stream nearly every day or every other day. We'd always have people on, right?
yeah.
It
Well,
would
I
be
mean, that's
great.
how it has to be
But
as well.
that,
It's like when I started college and I started working like an actual job outside of all this, my issue
hmm
became I had a regular schedule. There's now 3 days a week where I cannot stream unless I wake up super early or I lose half of my like night's sleep before my next shift.
oh yeah.
So I can't stream on those days now because it'll just fuck me over. And I work retail, so I'm customer facing all the time. It's not a job
And
where
what's
I can like, like I'll tell you this. If I had a night job like, like just a night security guard where I didn't have to do much except kind of just monitor stuff and like respond to the occasional emergency, I could stream every day.
hmm
Like I could get home, stream because I just chilled out, relaxed for a bit. But it's the fact
Yep.
that, I'm customer facing every day. So that my issue is I do all that and then to get home and have to jump on a stream and just be like,
And
I'm
interact with more
exhausted.
and more
I've
people.
interacted with everybody today. My
Yep.
personality is not going to be like to the elevated level it usually is when I'm streaming. But if I wake up early as shit to do it, I lose half my night's sleep to that. So it's like
hmm
it's just a mess because like I can't wake up an hour earlier and do an hour stream in the morning because it's too short to do anything. But
hmm
I also can't wake up 4 hours early and get like a 3 hour stream done and then just be like, okay, well, there's that. And now I've got to go to
Yeah.
work exhausted. I mean, I
I
could do that, but
I
it's not good because another thing is like, I don't stream at those times normally. So if I stream from like 3 to 7, like, or if I stream from like 4 to 7 a.m., like for US, that's going to be like the middle of the day for Australia, New Zealand, like parts of Europe, and then people from those areas are gonna start flooding in, and they're gonna be like, when I stop doing that, eventually they're gonna be like, "Why are you never live this time?" And I'll be like, "I I never used to stream at that time. I was just kind of there, like it's what I
yeah.
had to do at the time." So then that
And
side of
it's
my community is gonna
crazy.
be completely
Sorry.
cut out all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, and it's crazy to even think back to that, back to then, because like the schedule that I had at the time, because not only was I still in high school, right?
Oh,
So I
same.
was going to school. I was going to school every day, or every 5 days a week, right?
Yep.
Not only that, I had a full-time job.
Yep.
I worked 40 hours a week at a restaurant near me, right? And in the back cooking
And
constantly.
streamed.
I streamed. Yep, I streamed at the time. And I was in the marching band.
Yeah.
So not only was my schedule um go to school, go to work, go home, go to school, go to band, go home, go to school. It was somewhere in between there. I had to fit a stream.
No, yeah. Like I'd tell you, I had the same thing when I was in school. I was doing quite a few things. I wasn't in a marching band, but I was in a thing at my high school called the Ambassadors, and we ran all the school's events. We did open houses. We ran the open houses ourselves. Like I did scheduling, I did radio contact between the tours. I was doing all that stuff. So it was like we ran all the events. We set stuff up for students, set stuff up for aspiring students, and so forth. Did all that in school five
Mhm.
days a week. Content creation outside of that, and I worked. I guess part time, but you could technically it was nearly full time at a local CVS to me. Like
Yep.
I was pulling what 32 hours a week maybe. So I was one shift short of a full time job.
And
Um,
that's why I know a lot of this episode has been a lot of like the negative sides of content creation, but
I mean,
that's why we just want to make awareness of it, of just the just some of the things that you could experience during your time as a content creation, right?
yeah, and I mean I will say like
Um,
it is a lot of negatives in this episode, but it's like
mhm.
it's something you need to be prepared for because like I don't
100%.
care what anybody says. This is my opinion. You can disagree with it all you want. Content creation is one of the hardest jobs in the world. It's not the hardest, and I will never say
Can
it
be.
is. Like
Yes.
there are jobs that like, you could literally get killed on the job. And I mean, I think those are harder, but again, the thing is it's also pretty easy to get killed on the job as a content creator, whether that be from some crazy fucking viewer or
I
hell,
was
there's
going to
been
say,
creators out there who have committed suicide because like the internet just came down on them because of one thing. And other
Mhm.
content creators came down on them as well. Like there are
I mean,
these
think about.
there
I
are
mean,
these
even
like
think
channels
about
that lead
this.
witch hunts.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even think about this. Even if you do get up to a Twitch partner, right? Yeah, cool. Now Twitch is going to give you a contracted amount of hours that you have to stream
Exactly.
and show your personality and be entertaining so you can continue to grow.
As a partner.
And you have to do it.
It's
Otherwise, you don't get paid.
well, you don't get
Like
paid,
it's
but you
not like
can
they don't.
for breaking a contract, you can also get sued.
Well, it would. I don't think they would sue you for it. They would just revoke your partnership again,
Well, they can do
and
that, but
then you
like,
would have to completely start over.
yeah. I mean, you don't even have to start over, but they would revoke your partnership and they would make it 1,000 times harder for you to get it again.
Correct.
You
That's what
could
I mean.
apply
Yeah.
20 more times and they can just be like, no, you broke our first contract. Why would we let you back in?
Hmm.
And you'd have to like show them basically like why you deserve to be in it. But it's like,
Exactly. You'd have to prove to them.
that's the thing is that's like, in my objective opinion, that's why I'm always like, partnership or a better status on any platform, whether it be Twitch, YouTube, or anything else. I'm always just like wary of it because it's like half the time you're gonna get a contract from these sites that are gonna be like, hey, this is what you have to do. And it's like, and at first you'd be like, oh, this is great. But then 3 months into that contract, say it's like a 2-year contract. Like 3 months in there, you're like, oh man, I'm really not feeling it this month. I think I should just take some time off. You can't. You are
And like,
contractually obligated to stream like what? Maybe say it's like 200 hours a month. You are
I was about to
contractually
say,
obligated to do that.
people don't realize how many hours we're talking here. We're
It's like a
talking
full-time job.
hundreds of hours.
It's a full-time
Hundreds.
job. Like
They can be
here's the thing.
contracted.
You think that you work like, a full-time job, you're 40 hours a week. There's 4 weeks in a month, right? 4 to 5
Yeah,
weeks in a
try
month.
playing. Yeah,
So
yeah.
say
Try
like
playing.
well, hold on. Say
Try,
there's 4 weeks a month. That's already 160 hours that you work on a full-time job. On Twitch,
Mhm.
you like on Twitch or other sites, you can be contractually obligated to upload set amount of videos a month on YouTube, for example, or like say this on Twitch. And it could be like, like 25 videos a month, and that gives you 5 days off. Or you could be like, 200 hours a month. You're already at that point working longer than a full-time job because you have to edit, you have to work with your editors if you have editors. You have to record
Yeah.
all the stuff, you have to stream all the stuff, and it's like you're just fucked.
I was about to say, taking a day off as a content creator, that's another thing.
It's scary. Like
It's so important. That's the thing, though.
it's important, but it's terrifying.
There needs to be a line drawn in the sand between,
Creators and companies.
the creators and companies, because some of these creators are absolutely or at least were getting absolutely
Overworked, but they're also just like
and sure,
they're being burned
and
out
sure,
too.
I was about to say, sure, you may say they're making millions of dollars, but hear me out.
They're
Okay?
not.
If they were an actor, they would be making quadruple the amount.
Yeah,
But
I mean, hell,
they're not in Hollywood.
even then, I will say, like even if you think they're making millions of dollars, half the time these creators really aren't. Like
Yeah,
more than often than not, these creators are making barely enough to get by.
it's
Like
true.
there are some of these creators out there that have like 700,000 people. Can you imagine 600 to 700,000 people is enough to fill up most stadiums on this planet? I need to tell you. But
Mhm.
like, just think about that. Like 6 to 700,000 people watch you, and you're making barely enough to get like to keep your house. That's like insane, or even keep your
Yeah.
apartment. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, shit. But like, it's just what people need to consider. Like, it's a nightmare for half the creators out there. And I mean, there are thousands of
And
positives as well as content creation, but it's
I was about
difficult.
to say, And what's really important here, and what we're trying to emphasize a lot, right, is the fact that you need to take breaks for yourself.
You need to take
You
breaks,
need
and you
to
also need to
know,
find ways to manage it. Like, I'll tell
yes,
you
you
this
need
right
to.
now. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you need to know when too much is too much. Because if you overwork yourself and burn yourself out and disappear, your fan base will disappear with you.
Exactly. And here's the thing: if you just disappear even for a week, radio silence, so many of them are just gonna be like, "Oh, well, they're gone, I guess." If you like
They're
stream
gone.
daily, they're gonna be like, "Oh, well, I
Next,
guess they're not here
they
in a
find
week," and they'll
they
go to
find
other
the next
streamers.
creator. They find the next creator that is in their feed. It is so easy nowadays to find
Yeah, and I mean,
creators
if you
in.
lose that base, then you're fucked. Like, you're gonna have to rebuild that entire part that left. But it's like, one other thing about it too is like, it's difficult. And I want to go back to the point when Oof said, like, just taking a day off as well. This
Mhm.
is a thing that I saw from an actual content creator recently. They're an artist on Instagram that I follow. Their name is Aristocrat or something like that. They make this like this witch series. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, it's really cool. Like, they do a bunch of art and it's really cool.
Mm.
And I mean, I want to say, like, they took a day off from posting, and I just remember reading the description on their next post. Like, they added another part to the series, and they just said, "Hey guys, sorry I took a day off," and they like went on to mention, like, how scary it was taking a day off, since that content creation job, like their art there, is their only source of income. That is their job.
Mhm.
And like, it's just like, here's the thing: so many of you who work a stable job will never, and I mean never, know the fear of taking a day off and just wondering if your job will be there when you get back. Like,
Here's a hypothetical situation for you. Imagine you worked at an Amazon plant, but instead, every time you go to work, you'd have to get in a line of 2,000 people and sit in that line to guarantee that you got your work done and
that
get
you
your
got a
money
shift
and
that
go
day.
home.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That's
Like,
basically what content creation is.
it is, but it's also like, it's also something else of just, it's wondering how to keep audience retention. It's wondering how to find new audiences, and it's like, it's expanding. Like, as the internet expands, it's not only a battle of just who can I find on this platform anymore. It's a battle of who can I pull from these other platforms and bring them here. Who can I pull from here? How do I grow? It's
Yeah.
it's building yourself, because here's the thing: anybody can just pick up an OBS, like a program like OBS, and start a stream. Anybody can do that. But you need to have something about you that makes people want to come into your streams. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you this right now: there are thousands of creators out there. There are thousands of gimmicks. All of them have one thing about them. What made them different? Like, take Mr. Beast, for example. What makes him different? And it's the fact that
Mm-hmm.
every time he does a video, it's helping the world in some way. It's him just like changing somebody's life because that's how he wants
What
it.
made him what made him so different is the fact that, and I was actually going to mention this earlier when we were talking about. We should also wrap this up pretty soon,
Are we almost
but
out of time? Oh yeah, just
yeah,
about.
we are. But
There is one
just to
channel I'll
kind
be
of
watching
wrap
after
things
this
up.
too.
Yeah. Just to wrap things up, real quick with the Mr. Beast thing. When he first was doing all these crazy videos with like the leaf blowers and stuff like that. He was not basically taking a single dime of his monetization to himself. He put every
Every dollar
single dime
back
he
into his
made
videos,
right back into his videos.
and he told a
And
great story at one point.
you may think now, sure, since he's bigger, right, and has 150 or however many fucking subs now at this point, that he would change, right? And
He
his
still hasn't.
videos, that all of his money would just go towards himself. No,
Like
all of his money still goes towards the videos.
he
Sure,
keep like
he's rich now,
he keeps
but
a little bit, so he can get by and stuff. But like, the dude made a bunch of money off one video, and what did he do? He cured 1,000 people's blindness, and then after that, he cured 1,000 people's deaf, like being deaf.
I mean, fucking hell. I mean, fucking hell. He. The only time we hear him spending money right? About
is on
times of me
others.
spending grain melt is spending it on others. The most recent thing, this man literally bought an entire neighborhood for his crew to live in.
Yeah.
An entire neighborhood block.
Like, and I mean, I'll tell you this. It's like, it's just what makes people different, like why they're doing things. Like another channel I really love is Yes Theory. And they do something similar to Mr. Beast, except it's not related to money at all. Like their whole thing is about breaking the daily routine and just changing like what you do in your daily life. They want people to have new experiences. They want just people to do something and just like seek discomfort is what they call it, pretty much.
Yeah, I was about
And
to say, I
it's
really,
this
I really like their channel.
dude, they're one of my favorite creators just ever, and I mean, I will tell you this right now. One day I want to invite them onto this podcast.
For sure.
Like they are just amazing people and I love them. And it's just what makes you different. Like what are the things you want to do and why do you want to do it? Like you can't just be as a creator, you can't just turn on a game and do it. You need to constantly be thinking, what would make a good video? What would my community like? How do I make this different than other streams, other videos? How do I do this differently?
And
Like,
now,
because here's the thing, I will tell you this right before we wrap up here. Every single video that you make has one thing that no other video on the internet has. And that's you. And I get it. It sounds cliche. It sounds like it's a fucking greeting card. I get it, but it's true. Every video on the entire internet, on the entire content creation side, has one thing that's different from all the others, and it's that person who made it. Because they can put their own spin on it. They can put their own people in it. They can put whatever they want to because they are the ones making it.
different amounts of effort, stuff like that.
It's even that, like, different amount of effort. Like, if you put a lackluster amount of effort into something, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get lackluster results. But if you put the world into something, it may crash and burn. But that's how it goes. There are movies out there in Hollywood. It's the same thing happens. People put the world into some of their movies, and they crash and burn. But you know what they did after that? They got up and they made another one.
I was just about to say, if you're listening to this and are now stressing out about being a content creator, don't. Being a content creator is very fun and can be a very rewarding experience.
It can. And I mean,
But
I will say this.
The one thing I will say right off the bat,
do not expect it to be easy.
Well, that, A, and B, if you are doing this for money, right?
You're already in for the wrong
and
reasons.
I'm talking if you are getting into this for money, just stop while you're ahead.
Yeah.
You will have no fun.
Reasons.
You will have no fun with what you're doing, and you will be miserable with your job.
Yeah, I will tell you this
even
right
if
now.
you make it.
Even if you don't, even if you do, but you're already in it for the wrong reasons. Because if you're chasing the money on this, you are not going to grow.
Wrong industry, buddy. Wrong fucking industry. I'm telling you, esports.
You won't make
if esports didn't prove a point to anyone with how much money FaZe is losing right now, I don't know what will.
Yeah, but it's again, another thing I want to add on is don't stress about becoming a content creator, because here's the thing: as much as the negatives exist in it, you are basically getting to be who you want to be, and that is
you're your own boss.
It's something that is so rewarding in life, in my opinion.
Being self-employed is so wonderful.
It is.
Not being able to do your job how you want to do it and being able to profit off of that is amazing.
It is.
And not as in profiting as in you're taking home money. Even just to make money, to meet ends meet, right? Yeah. Like for instance, when I got my first Twitch check from affiliate, you know what I spent it on?
What?
Bracelets.
That's fair. I mean, I'll tell you this: it's the same thing for me. Is every dollar I get, it goes to one of two places. It goes to keeping me in a place where I can keep making content, or it goes to keep improving my content. I'll tell you this right now. I know I'm not the best editor, and I'm working on improving it. But in the time being, I've hired a couple editors, Oof being one of them.
Yeah,
it's it's how it goes. I know I'm not in a place where I can provide the most entertaining edits. I don't know enough about editing. So while I practice, I have other people working with me.
And
And
I
it's
was about
like,
to say, I'm no I claim to be. I even told Lucy, I claim to be no professional. I just the only reason I think about editing, and I think that like our styles would go well together, is I kind of think the way I kind of edit things is how would my ADHD when would my ADHD brain scroll away?
yes,
Right. If I was seeing this on TikTok, when would I scroll away? And if
yes.
there's a dead moment in there, take it out.
I will also say this: that is a very important piece of advice. It's not. It
Mhm.
doesn't even just extend to editing only. It's just always think about it when you're working on your next idea. This is what you need to think about when you're working on a thumbnail, when you're working on your next idea, when you're working on anything at all. This is what you need to think about. Would
Mhm.
I click on this video if I saw it? Would I watch this stream if I clicked in and saw the first 5 seconds of it?
Mhm. And
And
some
if
help
the
that
answer
you
is
can do with
no,
that.
if the answer is
Uh-huh.
no, why don't you like it? Find out that
Yep.
reason and fix it.
And one of the things that can help with that, just kind of getting on the specifics of thumbnails, right? Something that one of my friend does, right?
Yeah.
He'll come into the Discord call randomly. All of a sudden, he's like, "Okay, hey, I'm gonna flash two images at you. Which one pops out of your eye first? Which one do you see first?"
Yeah.
Right? And he'll pop it, and we're like, "Oh, the right one. Okay, cool." Because it's all about that eye retention, and
It's
those
about
red
eye
arrows.
catching too.
Yeah, those red arrows and that big text may seem crazy. There's a reason those videos have so many views.
Well, there's a
It's just
reason, but also
because
I do want to say one more thing about it too. It's that, but it's also the ability to not have to like, what's the word? I'm gonna use the word catfish because I don't remember the other word, but don't catfish your videos.
yeah, for
And
sure.
what I mean by that is like, don't make a video and then take a thumbnail that has nothing to do with what's in the contents of the video.
Yeah,
Like,
don't clickbait. Don't
clickbait,
clickbait.
that's the fucking word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
don't clickbait.
clickbaiting is
Like,
good. The clickbaiting is good to a certain degree, but don't like I jumped out of a plane and you're playing Fortnite.
yeah,
Don't.
like you
Don't.
can't do it like that. Like, if you're testing GTA myths or something like that, like some creators have been doing recently, you can make it so like, like it's
Mount
GTA
Chiliad
related.
secrets,
Yeah, you can
that's
do something
fine.
like that,
Whatever.
but you don't like
Fine.
you don't say like, "Oh, the Mount Chiliad secrets have been solved." You don't say like that.
Yeah.
Like, because it's not solved, but you can like mention
I
that
had a
if there's
question
like a small 5 second segment about Chiliad in the video.
for sure.
Because that's
For sure.
not technically clickbaiting, but it's also not a bad way of doing it.
All in all, we just want everyone that at least listens here to, and honestly, everyone around the world, all content creators, to just we
Thank you.
can be one big community.
Like again,
That's all we want.
this is one thing that like I hold like close to my heart. If I ever make it to a big content creator, I want to see content creators become what I've always believed they should be, and that is
Hmm.
a community of people who want to just, I don't know, make people's days better, just make entertaining content. I don't want to see
Make
any
a
more of this
difference.
like make a difference. Yeah, like I don't want to see any more of this, oh, I just want to like, show off cars. I just want to do this. But like, I don't think people appreciate the type of power that content creators have when they build up an audience, when they work together. Like they
Because
can change
even
the world. Like Mark Rober,
for
Mr.
sure.
Beast, Team Trees, the ocean trash cleanup. It's the amount of power that content creators have is one of the most.
Immense.
It's one of the most powerful things on earth, and I just think
And
people should
it's
utilize that
all
more.
I was about to say, it's just all about how you use it.
Yeah.
It really is.
Either
But
way,
I think
I
that'll
think we are way over time right now.
we're
So
not way over time. It is
are
the
we?
thing is
We took some
here's the thing, we'll
breaks.
see. Yeah, and we can talk about this on the podcast. It's just a tiny thing. I don't think we should I don't think time limits are really an issue for
That's
us.
true.
Because like even if like we have our ADHD ramblings and we go off on a tangent, right?
Yes.
I feel as though they're mostly within context and they don't stray too far, right?
They are. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by all the floating things.
No, you're good.
I wanted to do that the whole episode. I've just been seeing them. I'm like, I want to grab it.
Nope.
Oh, I just punched my monitor.
Nice.
But yeah,
But
no,
yeah.
that's fair. Yeah, you got anything
Yeah,
else?
but I was about to say, I think that that pretty much wraps it up. My kind of final words are, you ever thought about being a content creator? Just do it. Just start.
Yeah.
Takes one. It takes
my
2 clicks. It might be really, really hard work, but it is so rewarding in the end.
It is rewarding, and I mean, my final words as well will be this: you don't need the best technology for it. I have
You
known
don't.
people who have said like, "Oh, I don't have like the top tier. You don't you like I don't have the top tier
Nope.
game PC. You don't need it." Like I
I'm telling you this right
I
now.
have seen people who have literally started making their content, and their first content was them setting up a camera in front of a television, playing a game while commentating, and that was it. And that
I'll
worked
say this
out
right.
glorious for them.
I'll say this right now. If you have a phone, you can be a content creator. All right.
Even if you
don't have a PC, right? But you want to stream games? You got a console? You can stream.
Yeah, but
you can be a content creator.
Even if you don't have a phone or a computer or like console or anything, like say you just have like an old beat up video camera and you skateboard, make some skateboarding videos, set up that camera, do some tricks,
upload it at the library.
Go to your local library, yeah, edit and upload there, or like find a computer center that'll let you do that. Why not? And I mean this in the nicest way possible. There is no excuse. You do not have an excuse to not make content if you want to do it. There are thousands of ways to do it.
It's all about the effort that you choose to put into it, because there's an audience. There's an audience for everything. It's just about getting to them.
Exactly. That is my firm belief. There is an audience for everything. There always will be. But yeah, I think that's about everything.
Yeah, I think that'll wrap it up here.
All right. Well, as always, we're really glad to be back. We hope you all enjoyed the episode. And I mean, check out some of the links in the description. There's 2 forms down there. If you'd like to become a guest on this podcast, fill one of them out. It'll ask you, your Discord, and then also just some like general information on what you want your episode to be about. It also there's also a Q&A section, and I do want to bring the Q&A back. So, if you guys want to drop some questions down there, we will answer them on the 30th of every month. So the second episode of every month, we'll answer some questions for you guys. And you can also leave suggestions for the podcast that you can leave creators that we want to invite, or you can also just say like, "Hey, I really like when you guys did this. Could you do more of it?"
Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, also both of our separate channel links are down there. Go check them out.
I've been uploading on TikTok.
Yes. But yeah, that, and I mean, yeah, the Hell's Newsletter socials are also down there. There's Twitter, TikTok. TikTok really doesn't have many posts on it, but I'm going to try and work a bit more on that. As we said this episode, it is about the effort. I just need to get more into it. But yeah, indeed, I will get some more posts up there for that. And I mean, follow our Twitter for all updates about the podcast. We can't always post them to YouTube and Spotify and stuff like that, because sometimes it's just a few quick words like our hiatus. But yeah, if you guys just want to stay updated with us, follow us on Twitter. We also have a Discord server in the description below too, if you guys want to just hop in there. But yeah, I think that's about it.
Yep.
All right.
I got to wrap it up here.
Yeah. So yeah, leave a like on the podcast or whatever the buttons are on whatever platform you're on. Upvote, like, subscribe, save, download, all of it. Yeah. Only reason we ask is because it helps, it helps us get seen by other like-minded people, other people you think would be like podcast. And I mean, send the podcast to people you think would enjoy it. We're just 2 guys making a podcast just because we love what we do. But
100%.
Yeah. You got any last words?
Nah, I think that's it.
All right. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and we will see you all on June 30th. Peace out.